The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host, guest, random reptoid, or chupacabra may not necessarily reflect those of AM 950 Radio, its affiliates, or its sponsors. Now, it's time to step into the unknown. There are things people experience but never talk about. A shadow moving in the corner, flickering of the lights, a disembodied voice. We invite you to talk with us. Share your story, share your experience, because this isn't just your story, this is our story. This is GhostBox Radio with Greg Bakun.
And this is GhostBox Radio on AM 950, where every night we talk about the paranormal, ufology, Bigfoot, and so much more. My name is Greg Bakun, and thank you so very much for joining me tonight. It's Thursday, and as we're getting closer to Halloween, there's so much stuff that we want to talk about and fit in. But one of the questions I get asked quite a bit when I'm going out to the different presentations I do and the shows and all that stuff, I always get asked about like their pets. Like people come up and talk about their pets. They ask about, what happens to them. And, just a very, I find that people are more interested in their pets. Maybe, it's like a tie between parents and pets. What happens to them? And, I can answer the question in the sense of, I know that they don't just disappear after they pass, that they have an afterlife as well. But that's about as far as I can go with any sort. I could tell about stories that I have had personally happen to me with my little loved furry people who have passed away. But, I love having Rob on. We have Rob Gutro on. He has written many, many books on a lot of different subjects. He is not only an author, he's a paranormal investigator. He is a medium. There is so much that Rob does, and we have him on a regular basis because he has so much knowledge and there's so much to talk about. And tonight we are going to be talking about pets in the afterlife again, and we might just be talking about kitties. But also, folks, remember, put your questions in the comments. He's not doing mediumship. He's not doing readings. But what we are going to do is we're going to be talking about pets in the afterlife. We're going to be talking about all that wonderful stuff that happens to our family members, our furry family members after they pass. Rob, welcome to GhostBox Radio.
Thank you, Greg. It is so good to be back with you.
It is. It's great. It's great to have you on. And we were supposed to actually have you on probably about a month or so ago, weren't we? And then I think I got sick and we had to postpone.
Yes. Yeah, we did.
And that's a bummer.
Well, I'm glad you're feeling better.
A month later, I hope so, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I mean, am I not off base here when when you probably get, well, I mean, people know what you do, people know who you are, and your books that you write. I mean, you've written, are you up to 4 books on pets in the afterlife?
Yeah, that's right. I just published my 4th one, which is Pets in the Afterlife 4 Messages from Spirit Cats.
That's amazing. It's amazing. And tonight we're going to be talking about all animals, first of all, folks. So if you have questions about any animal, just put it in there, because I mean, we're not trying to stop from talking about any animals, but I am a cat person. I am very much a cat person. I've had in my lifetime, I think I had about 5 or 6 cats, and each one is very special. And these are our family members. And so this is really very, it's very cool that you focus on it. And I find it really interesting, Rob, that, and this is not a slight, I hope it doesn't sound this way, I find it very interesting that you can write a whole book about messages from spirit cats. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's actually pretty easy, Greg, because I do a lot of I do pet readings on the weekends on my spare time, and there are a lot of crazy different ways that pets can communicate, and the books are filled with them so that they teach people what signs to look for.
And the signs to look for, you mean the signs from your pets to know that they are still thinking of you and trying to connect with you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So pretty much they behave the same way in spirit as they did when they were in the physical.
Oh, crap. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's not all good, but you know.
I have one now. I have one now. My cat Linus. He's a bit of a I can't say what he is on the air.
Challenge.
But he's a challenge, Rob Gutro. He's a challenge, and we're looking to try to stop that challenge from getting into a problem. So yes, that is exactly what he is. I'll tell you, Rob, and I'm not kidding. He tries to trip me down the stairs every day. And I don't mean like he gets in front of me, like when I go downstairs. He'll literally take his paw and he'll put it in front of my ankle as I go down the stairs. That's not funny, Rob.
No, they're clever though. So we have three dogs, and
Yes.
they're all rescue dogs, and one of them, the latest adoption, we've had him for a year and a half. He does not like me.
Yeah.
He bonded to my other half, and so he growls at me. He's bitten me like 11 times, but I totally get where you're coming from. No matter how much you love them, they still sometimes,
Well, and I'm trying to
do
figure
that
out.
stuff.
I'm trying to figure out, Rob, what is. I mean, I certainly want an animal that doesn't like me. Linus likes me too much, and because Linus isn't doing that to hurt me, he's doing it to get my attention. He always wants my attention. Now, let me ask you this: as a pet medium, have you been able to figure out why your dog doesn't like you?
Well, yeah, it's actually the range of my voice. So apparently, so he came from an abused household.
A frequency, huh?
Yeah, so it's the pitch of my voice, I guess. Um, so and that's what it is, and I can tell that the person who had him pretty much had the same uh, tone, I guess, um, of their voice. So that's what sets him off. But it's okay. I shower him with love.
Do you ever like change your voice just for him? Like he'll walk in the room and be like, "Hello, Fido." Do you? Have you ever tried anything like that just to see if it makes any difference?
Yeah, so I have. So what I've done is I started whispering to him, and he's much calmer when I do that. It works.
I'm having kind of a anxiety day myself. If you whisper to me, I wonder if that would help too.
Okay, I'll try.
That's not bad. I'm feeling a lot better already.
All right,
so
there you go.
the most recent book, Pets in the Afterlife 4, Messages from Spirit Cats. These are messages that you are getting when you're doing your readings, or are these that people are telling you about, that they are getting like certain signs that you've heard about? Is it a little bit of both, or just one of the other?
It's both, actually.
Okay, good.
So people who have read my first couple of books, the Pets in the Afterlife book, they've learned how to look for signs, which is great because that's why I write them. I write them so people don't need to go to a medium, because we can all see the signs for ourselves.
Sure.
And Greg, there's a lot of easy ways to be on the lookout for signs. Like dreams, for instance, are the most easy way that a spirit can communicate with us. So if your pet passed, usually they will try and come into your dreams because it's the easiest way, just to let you know they're okay. They may lead you to another cat that looks like them, or you may hear them in the house. And there's a lot of stories I can convey tonight about different ways that cats have communicated.
I love it. I love it. And when a cat or any animal passes, you said that they're very much the way that they were in life, which makes sense because that's what humans are too.
Sure.
But do they have? Do you notice that they have a better range of communication, that they're able to communicate on more of our level, or does it still same sort of communication barrier that we sometimes run into?
So when it comes to connecting directly to the pet parent, it's the same. It's pretty much the same as it is when they lived with you in the physical. But when I do readings, they're able to show me images of things that their pet parents couldn't, unless their pet parents were medium, they couldn't
Okay.
get. So, for instance, one cat that I was reading came through to me and told me that his mom was thinking about another cat and showed me a cat with a striped tail and said that that's okay, that the cat with a striped tail is the one that you should adopt. And the cat mom wrote me back and said, oh my gosh, the kitten that we just adopted has stripes on his tail, we just got him.
Wow. I mean, it's pretty incredible. And I mean, I like the idea. How, for example, when you are reading doing a reading for any kind of pet that have
Mhm.
passed, I'm assuming that it's the owner that comes to you asking for it, and then you just connect to the pet as you would a human doing a reading.
Yeah, so how it works is I do all my readings by email because
Yeah.
it's really, really hard listening to a pet and talking to somebody. So everybody, it's really telepathic. Um, they send me images. They repeat words that they have heard. They'll actually tell me numbers. They'll tell me musical things, and then I type them out in an email and I do it that way. So the pet parent really just sends me a picture of their cat's name, uh, the number of people in their home, and the names of the people, because often when there's children, the children want to be acknowledged by their pet.
Yes.
And just like a person, if you don't ask about a certain thing, the cat's not going to be able to, read their mind and and tell me to tell, little Johnny that he misses him. So you have to ask the questions. Um, but
Can you ask questions? I mean, can you be like? I mean,
Mhm.
they can't be. I mean, I guess I'm curious to know, like, what kind of questions are being asked.
So uh, usually they ask, how would my cat be coming through to give me signs?
Okay.
Or how does my cat appear to other pets in the household? What kind of signs do they give? Um, Things like that. Did uh, did they pass knowing on purpose, knowing that I wasn't there? Things like that. Um, and that brings up a really good point for your listeners, is that if you are not at home when your cat passes, please know that your cat chose to pass at that time so that you would not see them pass, because they know it would be too traumatic for you.
Mm.
Usually, a pet that passes when you're not there knows that that you would have that memory implanted in your head forever, and they don't want you to remember them that way. They want you to remember them when they were active and they were happy.
That's interesting. Let me ask you on the other side of it, though.
Mhm.
If you ever run into an animal, a cat or whatever, that's upset that they were taken in to be put to sleep, but the owner didn't stay with them when the shots were given.
So it's always disappointing when that happens for them.
Yeah.
They would prefer that. Usually, they would prefer that the pet parent stays because they're in a
Sterile
sterile
environment.
environment.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what they often do, and this goes for any pet, dogs as well, is that they they concentrate on the scent of the pet parent that's on their fur, because when you pick up your cat or your dog, your scent goes on their fur, and that's what they focus on,
Okay.
if we're not there. But I do encourage every pet parent to be strong enough for your pet to go and stay with them. especially in a vet's office. I mean, at home, it's a different story.
At home is a different story, but if they are actually there, I mean, if you're doing it, I mean, and at the risk of offending anybody, but I feel like that there's basically a special place in hell for people who don't stay with their pets. I understand that it's sad. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
But all the years of love that your pet has given you, and you can't help see them through their most difficult transition of their existence. I just have no sympathy for those people. That's actually something that really, really annoys me quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, it is hard. It is really hard on the cat. They want their pet parent to be there, but they do what they can, and they also can read our emotions, as you know, being a cat dad, that your cats can read your emotions. They know when you're happy, when you're sad, when you're stressed, when you're not. So if they know when you're stressed, and if you don't go, but I think our pets all hope that we understand the lesson of unconditional love, that they are put here to teach us.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I'd like to do this. I would like to go ahead and take our first break right now. We got some comments and questions that are lining up. I'd like to get to those. If Rob is okay with it, I'd like to share my cat story with him about the signs, and they were quite a bit for my cat, Dave. And plus any other questions you talk about, we're listening to GhostBox Radio on AM 950.
Welcome to the night where the paranormal unite. A party like never before under the moon's airy light. The vibe is dark, the air is cold, spirits taking flight. Get haunted and ghost and magazine leading the fright. Ghosts and ghouls dancing hand in hand. Lost souls roaming the haunted land. On the battleship New Jersey we gather with glee. Horror and paranormal, a sight to see.
Twin Cities Con returns to the Minneapolis Convention Center for their 4th year, November 8th through 10th. Twin Cities Con is a celebration of comics, toys, TV, film, art, cosplay, games, and all things nerdy. There is nothing like Twin Cities Con. It's also a family-friendly event where you can meet your favorite celebrities, browse the vendor hall and artist alley for the coolest merch, watch celebrity Q&As, and even more. Twin Cities Con is bigger and better than ever before. Come see from Star Wars the Emperor himself, Ian McDiarmid, along with Anakin Skywalker, Hayden Christensen, John DiMaggio, who is Bender from Futurama, WWE Hall of Fame wrestler Sting, and Sunday only Grant Gustin from The Flash and Glee, plus more guests to be announced. 3 days of action-packed fun is in the heart of Minneapolis at the Minneapolis Convention Center. Tickets start at $40. Kids tickets are just $8 for the entire weekend. VIP tickets also available, including a 3-day weekend pass, plus some really cool VIP perks. Buy your tickets and get more information at TwinCitiesCon.com. Greg Bakun here. Like you, I love good, fresh, delicious food. So I want to tell you about this treasure in Roseville called Maverick's Real Roast Beef. Maverick's has the best roast beef sandwiches I've ever had. Made fresh every order. Add fries or onion rings dropped in the fryer when ordered, and you have a winning combination. Maverick's Real Roast Beef has a lot more than roast beef, so check out their website, mavericksbeef.com, or check out their restaurant on Lexington in Roseville.
This is Chad, owner of AM 950. Recently, I had a large order of custom-designed t-shirts that needed to be turned around in a hurry. I knew exactly who to call, Grady Gear Company. Grady Gear Company is a local company that handles large and small custom clothing and apparel orders. I had a lot of questions from color, shirt quality, and what sizes we needed. Gritty Gear Company was great to work with. They got us what we needed on time, and now everybody's looking great around the station in their new gear. Start your order at grittygearco.com.
Reach your highest level of consciousness and well-being with metamorphosisconnections.com. Metamorphosisconnections.com is an online directory of the best holistic and metaphysical practitioners to help you make your most informed choices. You can search metamorphosisconnections.com for classes, events, wellness and life coaches, plus metaphysical products and shops. You can also search for a wide array of healers from all modalities, including EFT, sound healing, energy healing, light therapy, ancestral healing, shamanic healing, reflexology, past life regressions, hypnotherapy, yoga, and more. And if you're not sure where to start, the search feature on metamorphosisconnections.com is tailored to help both those who know what they are looking for and those who are just starting. Come explore the possibilities for your higher self by visiting metamorphosisconnections.com. Their experienced practitioners can guide both beginners and those that are already on their spiritual journey. That's metamorphosisconnection.com, your link to direct you on your spiritual transformation.
And I hope that you'll join me this weekend, October 21st and 22nd, for Maria Shaw's Halloween Convention and Mariposa Dragonfly Psychic Healing Fair at the Marriott Minneapolis Airport Hotel. Shar Savoy and myself will be speaking Saturday afternoon, I believe at 1 p.m. We're going to be talking about Minnesota haunts. We're going to be talking about Halloween, as well as playing some recordings and stuff that we picked up over the years. For more information, you can go to mariashaw.com. Tickets are $10 to get in, but there are so many healers, so many things going on there. I think that you will definitely enjoy it. Talking with Rob Gutro, who doesn't understand how radio shows work on the internet. You don't answer the questions and comments, Rob. That's what we do. We talk about it on the air.
No, I get that. I only answered a couple of them. I thought it'd be helpful to also talk about them on the air, as well as directly to the person that needed to hear.
Yeah, because we want to definitely share with everybody out in the airwaves what's been happening in the chat room here a little bit. And one of the questions, well, it's more of a statement, more of a comment. Lisa says that her dog Schultzie had to be put down during COVID and we weren't allowed in, which that's tough. We'll talk about that in a second. I'm thankful for my youngest daughter is a vet tech and was able to be with him when transition took place. We waited outside, let alone the fact that we heard that a lot with relatives. You get that as well with pets. And I didn't even think about that, Rob. Did you get anything from that when it came to pets spirits talking to you?
Yeah, they absolutely understood what was happening because they knew that it was not the normal routine whenever they visited a vet. So they could tell that and pets can smell disease when disease is around as well. So they knew that because people were wearing masks, they're very observant that something was different.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, Greg, two of my dogs passed in 2020 during COVID. So our veterinarian fortunately allowed us to go in with wearing masks for a short time to be with our dog. But when the other dog passed 5 months later, we had a vet come to the house and we helped her pass outside.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Are you okay if we do some more comments?
Sure.
We got some stuff coming in. And once again, folks, real fast, if you are wondering, we are talking to Rob Gutro. He is an author, paranormal investigator, medium. We are talking about pets in the afterlife. His newest book had recently been released. It's available on Amazon, Pets in the Afterlife 4, Messages from Spirit Cats. But Rob covers a lot through the other 3 books. And there's a lot of other books that Rob has written that are really worth checking out. And we just want to keep bringing Rob back to talk about them. Karen says, my cat, my angel, crossed over September 27th unexpectedly after teeth extraction. She died overnight at home. I
Mhm.
found her in the morning. She was my familiar. I get it. She saw spirits, noticed everything. I am lost without her and don't know why it happened. Rob, I mean, is this one of those situations? Would you recommend them reaching out to you separately to help maybe get some more answers?
Well, interestingly enough, Greg, Angel is actually coming right through to me now and
Oh,
making
incredible.
me have some heart um, issues. Like, I feel like a murmur had happened. So, um, it feels like her heart stopped. Um, there was a weakness in the heart there, and that's what had happened.
Wow.
So there was nothing that could have been done. So Karen, what that tells me is that you, as a pet parent, did the absolute right thing because teeth do cause heart problems. Teeth are linked to heart problems. Um, so there was nothing else that you could have done. You did the right thing. And there's no reason to feel guilty because you were doing the right thing as a pet parent. Um, and that's one thing that people often say to me is that, oh gosh, I feel guilty because I brought my cat or my dog in and they passed during surgery, but it was her time. um, so what I would encourage you to do is to ask her to come into your dreams and try and find some healing that way. um, Also, honor her memory. There are many things you can do to honor her memory. Donate to an animal rescue, adopt another cat, um, set up a little memorial for her in, maybe if you have a house in your backyard, or set up photographs with her collar or something.
That's great, Rob. And thank you for sharing what came through. And Karen, I am so very sorry for your loss. And I just would like to say that even my cat Dave, who he was my first rag doll, and he was something very special. And I had to make the decision to bring him in to put him down to put him to sleep. I knew he had to have I knew it had to happen. Yeah, I still felt the greatest guilt of my life that this family member that's been with me for 10 years,
Mhm.
that I made that decision. So uh, Karen, I understand the guilt, but I mean I full wholeheartedly agree with Rob, and uh, and thank you for sharing that with us. Can I share some more with you, Rob?
Sure.
Jen just says that Rob did a reading for my cat Shane. He had mentioned about a bird singing loudly, and I had the window open recently and heard a bird song I never heard before, and it was super loud. I knew it was Shane. Thanks again, Rob.
Hi, Jen. Thank you. I- it is pretty amazing because cats can also influence things in nature, like birds and butterflies and dragonflies and so forth. Squirrels, rabbits, things to do animals to do things unusually, that things that they normally wouldn't do in order to let us know that they're around.
Right, right. Um, let's see. I think this was answered, but Joanne just asked, "Does the animals that we lost call to you when we ask?" And that, I mean, that's that. I think the answer to that we've been talking has been yes, right? You just got to
Uh,
hear. You just got to hear it, right?
yes, yeah. Well, Angel, Angel just came through to me like 5 minutes ago. So.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Let's see here. We also have Victoria asked the question. Curious, since I've moved to this town where I do not know anyone, it seems that I have inadvertently adopted several shadow cats. I see them all the time, most of them inside. Why do you think they show up? Is it because I'm new in town and they feel safer here?
Yes, absolutely. Hello, Victoria. I, um, Victoria is a cat mom, and animals in spirit, whether or not they've crossed over or if they're earthbound. And let me just tell you that it's my experience that less than probably 1% remain earthbound. Most of them cross over. Will be attracted to someone whom they know will love them and care for them. And that's very likely why Victoria is overrun with cats in spirit.
Got it. Let's see here. We also have Carol says, my dog Brownie had to be put down. We all went into the vet to be with Brownie. I'm still missing her. It was in September. Does she come here? I want to know if she's okay. Another dog came to my room. It was off limits when Brownie was with me. Now, we're not doing anything unless anyone comes through to Rob like Angel did, but we're not really doing that tonight. What would you suggest, Rob?
So, first of all, I would say that that Brownie, no matter where our pets pass, if your pet passes at the vet, they're always going to find you no matter where you are.
Yeah.
They will always find you at home. My dog Buzz came to me in 2009, 4 years to the day after he passed, when we were on vacation in Puerto Rico.
Mm-hmm.
He led me to a man walking a Weimaraner that looked exactly like him. So Brownie can find you anywhere, anytime, any place. And it doesn't matter where you are. And your other pets, your other cats or dogs can see your cat or dog in spirit. And in my books, I explain that they have a different configuration in their eyes and their ears that allow them to see and hear spirits. Humans don't have that same configuration. So watch your cat or dog very carefully, especially around birthdays, anniversaries, and holidays, and anniversaries of passings, because they may be staring at your visiting cat in spirit.
That's pretty amazing. Once again, the book that the most recent book is called Pets in the Afterlife 4 Messages from Spirit Cats. It's available on Amazon, and there's a lot of other books available that Rob has written as well. Rob Gutro is his name, and we're really excited to be talking about all this tonight. You know, when it comes to human spirits passing, we believe that human spirits have to cross the veil. Mm-hmm. Does that same sort of thing happen to the animals?
Yes, every living thing. Every living thing has a soul, just like people, and we all go to the same place on the other side. The only alternative to the other side is being stuck earthbound as a ghost.
Right.
And only humans are really not smart enough to cross over. So
it'd be that animal instinct that they just know that's just natural for them.
Yes, absolutely. Because when you think about it, Greg, and as you know, as being a cat dad, animals know when there's love and kindness, and they are attracted to that, and peace, and that's where they go. Conversely, they go away from danger and fear and so forth, and that's what happens if you stay behind as an earthbound ghost.
Right, exactly. So they could pick up the danger and whatnot. It makes sense. You know, we got about 5 minutes or so before we go to our next break. You know, can you give us an example, please, Rob, of a really cool story from your book, the most recent one about getting a sign from a cat that maybe really helped somebody. It might even help some of our listeners here that are struggling with the loss of their family member, their cat family member.
Sure, absolutely. There was a cat named Gracie, and Gracie had passed in 2017, and Gracie came to me and gave me a sign, a special sign for her mom. And she told me that she would give her mom she would send her mom a special leaf. Now, I know that's kind of crazy.
It's so sweet. It's so sweet, actually.
But her mom wrote me back and said, and her mom said that she lived in the Midwest, and she said that, there's a lot of leaves around here, and that's kind of crazy, but I'll keep an eye out for it. So she wrote me back, and she told me that normally she deals with a lot of feral cats, and normally she uses paper towels to clean up after them in the garage. But this one time she used a towel, and she was thinking of her cat when she was taking care of the feral cats. She was thinking of Gracie, and she happened to look down, and on the towel there was a heart-shaped leaf that appeared, and she knew right then that was from Gracie. It was in the shape of a heart. And when she wrote me back, she she wrote 3 or 4 exclamation marks after her message. But so that's a very subtle sign. But number one, she was thinking of Gracie when she was helping the other cats. Number two, she wasn't using paper towels for the first time in a long time that she normally discards. She was using a towel, and she dropped it on the floor of the garage. And she said that she realized that all of these things had to come together in order to get that sign. And that's what I write about.
That's pretty amazing. Do animals, like, for example, cats, after they pass, do they get jealous at all that you're bringing someone new into the house, or do they worry about being forgotten?
They don't worry about being forgotten so much, but some of them do get jealous. It depends on their personality. I've had cats come through that said that will tell me that they were a female cat, and they said they only wanted the pet parent to adopt male cats because they wanted to be the only female cat in that particular family. So sometimes they do get jealous, and other times they may not like the pet that you adopted, but they come back in spirit and they do train the pet that you adopted. So you may see them the new pet do something similar that your pet in spirit has done.
So I want to, before we go to break, I want to quickly tell you my story because it leads into this. Is I mentioned that my first ragdoll was a cat named Dave, and he was an incredible, truly a best friend. And a number of years have passed, and I started dating somebody who had a cat that looked just like Dave, as it happens. And but on closer inspection, not really at the same time. And this cat was named Linus. And we never dated. We did date for a little bit, but we stayed friends. And she kept offering Linus to me because they wanted to get a dog, and she could see that we had a connection. And I said no because I had an older cat, AJ. One day I finally decided I am going to get Linus because I really do want him in my life. And as soon as I made that decision and gave her a call, I'm going up the stairs and I feel something tugging at my sock. And I look down, there's nothing there. And immediately, intuitively, using my intuitiveness, I'm like, that's Dave. And I said, Dave, don't worry. I'm not going to forget about you. And the day I went to go pick up Linus, I'm driving down a road. He wasn't too terribly far from me, about 20 minutes or so. I'm driving down the road, and there's a truck that's on the side of the road, and it's the side of the truck is facing me going down the road, and in big letters it said Davy on it.
Okay.
I mean, his name, and it's how I call him. I'd never call him Dave. I call him Davy. I mean, it just, and I'm like, oh my gosh, Dave, I'm not going to forget about you. You're not, I felt like I had to really let him know. And it's still one of my favorite memories because it was, once again, like the heart leaf. I feel like that